Global warming, a consequence of living in a global greenhouse and one of the most worrying aspects of climate change, is something that's already come up in this chapter. Global warming. It's another phrase that means exactly what it sounds like, an increase in the Earth's average yearly temperature. Since 2000, the world has seen 9 out of the 10 warmest years ever recorded, including the warmest ever, 2014. All 10 of the warmest years on record have occurred since I graduated from high school. While that makes me feel old, it also makes me more worried about what increasingly warm weather will mean for life on Earth. Global warming does not mean that everywhere on the Earth gets warmer, but rather that the Earth's average temperature is increasing. Since it's an average, that means that some places could be, and actually are, experiencing even colder weather. Depending on where you live, you may have noticed this. In 2014, parts of the East Coast, including New York, where I live, and parts of the Midwest experienced a colder year on average, while California experienced its warmest year ever. It's not only temperatures that are growing more extreme. Weather is too. Floods and droughts that used to be rare are now expected. As the Earth warms, more glaciers and ice caps are melting, and because of that, sea levels are rising. This is happening at the top and bottom of the Earth. At the top of the globe, the Arctic and Greenland ice sheets are both melting, and at the bottom of the globe, the Antarctic sea ice is melting and thinning out. A chunk of ice the size of Washington, D.C. melts away from Greenland each year. Wow, not in a good way. Even more worrying than the warming we've had so far is that if nothing changes in the current rates of pollution, more greenhouse gases, and deforestation, less ability for the planet to absorb these greenhouse gases, the Earth's average temperature is projected to rise at least 4 degrees Fahrenheit by 2100, and some scientists say it could rise by as much as 12 degrees. That's mind-boggling. Scientists predict that even if we all did everything we could to halt climate change, like using more renewable energy and less coal, the temperature would still go up by at least 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe those predictions don't sound like big jumps, but all are. Even seemingly small changes in temperatures have huge consequences for life on Earth. Think about when you get a fever. A 2-degree fever can leave anybody feeling awful and groggy, and a 4-degree fever starts to be dangerous, particularly for kids. And a 12-degree fever would be fatal. Seemingly minor changes matter. While it's true that global warming doesn't mean warmer weather everywhere, the places that do get warmer will stay warmer for longer, increasing the risk of dangerous heat waves. Older people are particularly vulnerable to heat waves. In Chicago's 1995 heat wave, an estimated 750 people died from heat-related causes in only 5 days, dying of heat strokes, heart attacks, and dehydration. People living in poverty are more vulnerable to heat waves. Many of those who died during the Chicago heat wave have lived in buildings without air conditioning, meaning they had no ability to cool off, even when temperatures soared well above 100 degrees. Many also lived in neighborhoods where they weren't comfortable opening a window at night because they felt unsafe. A 2003 heat wave across Europe was even more deadly, claiming more than 50,000 lives, including many elderly and people living in poverty in cities and rural communities. And in different countries across the continent, climate change falls hardest on people living in poverty across the world. But it affects all of us today and into the future. Some scientists predict that in the longer-term future, parts of the planet could become unlivable because it will be too hot year-round, That's a pretty scary vision. Others think life as we know it will become impossible almost everywhere. Well, that's truly terrifying.